Radiance Films continues releasing films from the history of Japanese cinema, oftentimes focusing on like Japanese gangster films, of which this is one. This is Tokijiro Lone Yakuza from 1966. This is a Blu-ray in color, directed by Katô and starring Kinnosuke Nakamura as the titular Tokijiro. Very good movie. This is sometimes, okay, whenever I watch one of these period pieces that's a Japanese film or an Asian films in general that are set in the olden times, so to speak, they always take me a while to get into. And at the beginning, my defenses always go up, and I'm just like, I don't know who anybody is. They're throwing around a lot of names of places and people, and I just can't figure this out. Everybody's dressed the same. I can't figure this out. And eventually it clicks in and I go along for the ride. And that's what happened with this one. At first I was just like, I don't know what's going on here at all. And then it's a very simple story, actually. Perhaps I'm too simple a person to have perceived that. So basically the deal here is when you think Yakuza, when I think Yakuza, I think modern Japanese films of a lot of Japanese men in business suits and back tattoos, and they're basically like American gangster movies, but they're set in Japan in the 50s onward. This is not that. This feels a lot more like a samurai film. If I say samurai film, you're going to think much more of what this movie really is than if I say Yakuza film. But at this moment, there are these people that were called like wandering gamblers that were Yakuza members, where they didn't really have allegiance to any kind of a gang or one tribe isn't the right word, a gang or a clan or anything like that. They basically would wander from town to town, and in exchange for being able to get a free night's sleep at someone's house or at a gambling hall or at a brothel or something, basically the organization or the arrangement would be, sure, you can sleep here tonight. We got this guy we'd like you to kill. And that's just how it went. And the guy would say, that's what I do. Okay. And even at times he would go to this guy. There is an instance, the basic plot of this film is our wandering Yakuza goes to, he has traveled, he had met this woman and her son, and they're on fellow travelers, and he is a lonely, family-less guy, and he makes friends with them, and then he bids them farewell on their way. I'm not going to tell you the whole story. He goes into an arrangement where it's like, okay, in exchange for a night of sleep, there's this guy who doesn't belong to a gang or doesn't want to belong to our gang, or he's the last of his gang. If you could go ahead and kill him, that would just kind of end that problem for us. Our Yakuza says, sure thing, I'll go take care of that for you before I go to sleep. And he goes to do that, and what winds up happening is that man he takes care of happens to be the husband and father of the woman and child he met earlier. So, with great guilt, our Yakuza decides to take this woman and child under his wing because he has made a promise to this guy to look after his family, which is a really funny, odd scenario where it's like, I'm about to kill you, and okay, great. If you're going to kill me, could you make sure my wife and kid are okay? My word of honor. And that's kind of how the movie goes. So it is a film about this man struggling with his role in the world versus what he would like to be, and this strange relationship with the wife and son of the man he brutally murdered. So this has gushing geysers of blood. This is nicely photographed in color and widescreen. It's a Toei film, in case I didn't mention that earlier, and looks great. Really classy film, great score, great performances by everybody involved. And when there is violence, you occasionally do get that Japanese branded just fire hose of blood shooting out of people. So if you're in it for that, it's got that, but it's a lot more than that. So it's just it's a really good movie. What more can I say? Initially, it's lighter than tone that I expected. We open up the film with Tokijiro has a friend, kind of a goofy comic relief friend that's with him, and he gets into some situations in a brothel and elsewhere that are very, like, laugh out loud, very funny, and very edgier humor than I would have expected from a Japanese film in 1966. But then after that, after like the first 20 minutes or so, the tone shifts to being pretty much straight ahead drama. Special features, we have cinema scholar Koyushi Ueno, I'm going to mangle every name I ever mention in any review just so you know up ahead of time, discusses the film and its director and their significance in Japanese film history. That's 17 minutes. Young Master is a visual essay by Robin Gatto tracing the career of the film's lead, Kinnosuke Nakamura. That's 18 minutes. And then you get a trailer that's 1 minute and looks like it was made for this release, so it's not a vintage Japanese trailer. So we look at the package, and appropriately enough, the Japanese style obi strip is there. That can be slipped out. That's just tucked inside the case. So your cover art is not permanently blocked. You can actually read the whole word there. Crack it open, and it's not too thrilling to look at until You remove that, and we get the alternate original poster art, and we get a very cool booklet with photos that are all scans. Any image that you see is all taken from the film, usually taken from the film. And we get a couple essays, I think, in this one. We get a cast and crew list. We get dark blue with splashes of red, a 2024 essay by Ivo Smits. And this is cool. A review of Tokijiro Lone Yakuza from 1966 by Tetsuya Fukusawa. And it's basically not a good review, but they say up front in the booklet, this film is very highly regarded now, but at the time, not a lot of people appreciated it. Here's one of them. So really good package, fine film, available now from, I was going to say Arrow Video. It's not Arrow Video. It's from Radiance Films. This is Tokijiro Lone Yakuza on Blu-ray.